Hey, Mary, I see you. How are you doing, Mary? Or let me know when you can see me. And don't pay attention to my hands. I have paint all over them. Let me know if you can see me. I see there's 4 people here. Okay, you can see me. Okay, good. So I decided to let this video go public to everybody tonight. Oh, 16 people all of a sudden. I decided to let this video go public. To let it go public to everybody this evening so you guys could kind of see what we do in some of our craft classes. Hi, Claire. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've been painting the kitchen and I'm like a bunch of different colors and I'm so gross. And I had to stop to helping to come finish do this. Hi, Annette. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Helen. So as I was saying, I decided to let this go live to everyone so everyone can kind of see what we do in our class. Oh, hi, Deborah. It's late over there. Hi, Shelby. Blah, 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 I lost my train of thought. What's new, right? So usually in our craft class, if I have something new to share with them for the week, I'll share that with them at the beginning of the video. So if I found something crafty, I normally don't show it in regular videos that are on the channel. So, oh, it's midnight. Yeah, I figured it's late over there. So, I usually share it with them at the very beginning, and then we do a little something, learn a different little technique in paper crafting. Some of you guys that are watching, you probably, maybe, possibly already know it, and some of you possibly maybe don't, or it might be a technique that you completely forgot about. So that's kind of what we do. We kind of just hang out and do a little bit of art and for about an hour, and that's about it. So I'll start off with sharing with you guys some of the newer things I got this week. I did, if you guys saw one of our Goodwill shop with me videos, I picked up some craft stuff while I was there. I actually picked up this bundle. It was all taped together, and this is what was inside the bundle. We have, this is the first thing on top. I knew it was Tim Holtz, and I was like, oh yes. This is an embossing folder. Oh, by the way, y'all, if you're not used to this, this is like a separate like camera that doesn't like to play nice. So forgive, like it's gonna try and focus a lot. So like if I go live to everyone, I can do it from my phone, which is a better camera. But when I go live to just my crew, the phone doesn't have that feature, like the app on the phone. So I have to do it from my computer, which is a different kind of camera. So anyways, so this is, I got, this was on the top of the bundle. And again, these are embossing folders. So you would stick a sheet of paper on the inside and then you roll it through your die cut machine and it presses this pattern into your cardstock. So, so then there was this one with the snowman. And then this large background stamp was in there. Then this one was in there. This one is an acrylic stamp. It's by Fiskars. And they were in these little envelopes too, which is cool. Then this die was in there. We have the sunglasses and the mustache. I remember probably like maybe 10 years ago now or something, those mustache images were very popular. Then there was this stamp set. This looks like it's from My Favorite Things. I don't know for sure. And the the sheet that doesn't say it on there, but this was there. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Angela. Yes, Angela, this is live now. I said at the beginning that I was letting it go live to everyone, so you guys could hang out if you want to and see what the class is about. This was in there. And another reason why I share the stuff that I get is in case you guys like it and you want to go try and hunt it down on your own. So this is the November die of the month for Maker's Mart. So this was in there. And then this one for Maker's Mart for Spellbinders. So all of this was all bundled together for $6.99. No, I know. I was just, hi, Queenie. I was letting it go live to everybody. Then we got this one. Oh, focus. There we go. I told you it does that and it drives me bonkers. You can ask them. And then there's this one with the wreath. This is probably my favorite one. And then I was just thinking, I miss you guys on Sunday. Thanks for opening this up. No problem. And then there's this one that was Christmas. So all of this was bundled together for $6.99 at Goodwill. And some of you may or may not know that if you buy these dies, like if you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that, they can be, well, now there's some cheaper ones at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby will have like one or two for like $12.99, but easy $25. So, hello to anybody I missed. Sorry, I was trying to watch and then you guys saw that we found this at a Goodwill. It was Martha Stewart paper punch. It'll punch this border. A lot of her stuff is retired. Like she doesn't make a lot of this stuff anymore. So actually, if you ever find it and you want to see if it's has any resale value, just look them up. Yeah, this one doesn't say what the pattern is, but on the front it did. So what do you use with the dies? Paper. I mean, you can cut like thin cloth and stuff, but you cut paper with these. See how this is paper on this side. The person who owned this cut it out and oh, she glued it down, but that's paper. Okay. So that was what, besides my Simon Says stamp card card kits, this is the like new stuff that I got for this time around. Hi Denise. You feel honored to be invited? Awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. I made these couple of cards last week. I made a couple of Valentine's cards. I made this one. Oh, come on, focus. It says, hey, Tweety Pie. Is that words? Is the words backward? I think the words are backwards. That's because I'm on this camera. And then it has like a sparkle. You guys know my phone camera is a lot better. So I made this one. And then I made this one. So today, I'm going to show you how to do this background right here. It's a technique called like smooshing. So I'm going to show you that. But I just wanted to share with you, these are 2 cards that I made last week. No, they're right. Okay, on my camera or my screen, they're backwards. So it says you're special to me. Okay, cool. And then these, I was actually sharing this technique with Mary. I was looking for red cardstock, but the cardstock that I had was really deep, like a maroon. And I'm like, no, I just want like red hearts. And I don't have a lot of like red, like Valentine-y type things. Even my Christmas paper has like a very maroon look to it because it's like vintagey, you know? So I took this tiny punch that I have that I think is from like Joann's or Michael's or something from back in the day. And I took a marker and I just colored on a piece of paper and turned my paper red. And then I punched it out. and I made my own little red hearts. So those are the kinds of little ideas and things that I try and share with everyone. Um, you're so good at making cards. Oh, thank you. Where did you get the blank cards? I don't buy blank cards. I make my own from cardstock or from watercolor paper, but you can get them at like Hobby Lobby or something. I gotta open my little soda, sorry. You can get them already made at like Hobby Lobby. But when you make your own, you can, like for example, the technique I was going to show you, you can pick the paper that you need. So if you buy the one that's like made all together at Hobby Lobby and you want a watercolor, it's going to be a little difficult to watercolor because it's just regular old cardstock. So that's the next thing I was going to show you. So the stamp that I tried to have this pre-done so it doesn't, take forever or anything, but the stamp that I'm going to use is this little Lawn Fawn stamp set, and it's this little dinosaur. I was kind of keeping it in the way of these. So another thing to note about these is all of this is just stamps and me coloring in. None of this is patterned paper, because a lot of people think, oh, you have to have all this paper, you have to have expensive paper. No, all it is a white piece of watercolor paper, and I colored everything else in, but I just used my stamps. That's part of why I like stamps so much, because I can make whatever I want. So I was gonna make this little dinosaur kind of go with this. I did I don't know what I was thinking. I cut my cardstock a little short. See the shortness? But whatever, you can make your cards whatever size you want. Okay, so this is just my piece of watercolor paper. I chose my ink color. Now I'm going to use this archival ink. This is a dye ink, which means it's going to dye your paper. It's going to sink into your paper, and I'll be able to watercolor with this, and the ink won't run. So that's my goal, is I want to be able to color this little dinosaur in, but I don't want my ink to run. So I'm going to use that instead of like plain black like I normally use. And then I went ahead and I have this die set from Coco and Reno. And I took this little border right here, this scallop border, and I put it through my cutting machine. What is watercolor paper versus cardstock? Well, watercolor paper, you can use wet mediums on. Cardstock is better for like pen, pencil, colored pencil. Where do you get the envelopes? Oh, it's okay. It's no biggie. Well, you can buy a box of envelopes that are a standard size, or you can make your own envelopes. So like Hobby Lobby again will usually they'll sell the cards and the envelopes together, or you can just buy envelopes if you want. Okay, I think I got all the questions. Wow, she makes envelopes. Yes, I do. Now, unless you have some kind of special shut with like like an Elmer's glue or a Mod Podge or something, because I just make it out of cardstock. So obviously it doesn't have that glue strip. But anyway, so I have this die set from Coco and Reno, and I took this scallop die, ran it through my die cut machine. I liked this pattern paper. So I'm going to make like a Valentine-y type card if you wanted to use it for Valentine's, right? But I wasn't doing Valentine colors. Or you can use it for whenever, because I like this little sentiment. Roar means I love you in dinosaur. So, right, you can use it for Valentine's Day or whenever you want. So I ran it through my machine, and I got these two little scalloped borders. Now they kind of hang off the card, but I'll fix that. What I'm doing with the scalloped borders is I'm going to give my dinosaur something to sit on. So like these birds, they weren't just, unless they're like butterflies or birds flying around. I mean, they're grounded. They have something to sit on. So they have their own branch. This whale I gave it water and its bubbles that kind of grounded it. So it just didn't look like I just, plopped it down. So I'm going to give my dinosaur this as something to sit on. So, but first, I want to make like a cool background. That's what I think I want to do. I'm going to give them a cool little background, and then I'm going to put this on top. So with our smooshing technique, you can take like regular watercolors, like those watercolors you can get in the tubes. You could do those. You could do do I see someone saying hi Sally? Hi Sally. I can't see a Sally, but oh wait. I don't know who. Oh, thrifter not hoarder. Okay. I'm looking for a Sally. I don't see Sally. Um what was I saying? So you can use your tubes, you can use a pan of watercolors. You guys know I love Tim Holtz. I'm constantly talking about Tim Holtz. So that's what I use, because I can use this as an ink pad. I can use it as watercolor. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. So I think for for this smooshing technique, yes, you need that. And then you need some kind of something like this. I'm just going to use this wrapper. You can use your candy wrapper. You can use a plastic bag, like a sandwich bag. You have to get inks. I have none. Oh, and that's what I tell people in our class. I'm like, sometimes I'm stuck with what to show them, because I don't want you to think, oh, I have to go out and buy all these expensive things, or have to get Tim Holtz to do what she did. That's why I said you could use the pan of watercolors. You could use, however you can use Crayola markers and make watercolors. So you don't have to buy exactly what I buy. I tell them that all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to peek through a couple of my colors here, because I'm going to play off of the colors in this paper. I think I'm going to go, hold on, let's see. I might go with like pumice stone, which is a gray, and then maybe weathered wood, which is kind of like a gray blue. And then maybe one more color, probably stormy sky. So I think I'm going to go with this color palette. Okay, so let me move this out of the way so I don't get any of it wet. So this right here, this is a Tim Holtz glass mat. This, it's kind of hard for you to see the lines. It's almost like you could use it as your watercolor, like tablet. You can use a paint palette, like that. So you could like squirt colors in there. But anyways, this is really cool because you can just like glob it on your table and then clean it up later. So I'm just rubbing some ink. It's not gonna, it will dry, but not dry like you think. You could wipe it right off. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna spray my paper. So I'm gonna go wet onto a wet surface. Makes it easier to spread. So I'm gonna spray my paper. I'm gonna spray these a little bit, and then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna smush it right down. And you can turn it about and get all kinds of like different colors in there. And then every once in a while, I'll kind of just pick some of it up. I think I want more of this darker blue down here. Okay, so it's going to be loud for a second, guys. I'm going to dry it, okay? Gia says, I can do that. You sure can. You can even do it with these acrylic blocks. But if you don't have an acrylic block, you can use the packaging. So I'm just using my heat tool to kind of move this around / heat it up so it could dry where it is so I can move on. Before my classes, do I give a list of materials needed? No. Nope. Most times, because they get a kit every month, a lot of times they'll get their kit and then I'll try to use things that are in the kit so they already have it. But then they were like, Alex, you don't have to use things in the kit, just show us stuff. So I just show them stuff, and then it's up to them if they want to go do it or not, you know. Oh, that's awesome. I got mine. It's like as old as Gabriel. So it was probably at like Michael's or something way back when. Okay, this is dry. It does warp your paper a smidge. That's why I was going back and on this side with it. So now I think I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to take my little paintbrush. I'm just dipping it in water a little bit. But I'm going to take my little paintbrush and I'm going to pick up some of this color. I might even do a darker one, but I'm going to splat it at the paper because I want just a little bit more like dimension, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to choose, I have another darker color called, this is one of his newer colors, Uncharted Mariner. I'm just going to get a smidge of that because I don't need much because I'm going to do splatter paint. You ordered? Wait, what did you order? Oops, I need more. Oh, come on. More water. Here we go. What did you order? Oh, the heat tool. So now you can take another piece of, here, let me show you. I have like a scrap piece of watercolor paper. You could take this and like wipe up the ink. You can splat it down. On like a bigger piece, and you can create some really cool backgrounds just wiping up the ink so that you can like use the rest of it, you know? So you can create like cool pieces. I just wanted to show you could do that. So we'll wipe that off so I don't stick my sleeve in it, even though I already have paint all over my clothes. Let me just dry this a second. Okay. You love doing the splatter? I have an actual a Tim Holtz tool, and it's like a, here, I'll show you. Butters, you're making it very uncomfortable. He is sitting in the back of my chair, so I'm like sitting on the edge. I have this right here. So this will do splatter too. But again, it's like, I don't want to make you feel you have to go get this tool. So I was showing you how to do it with a paintbrush. You know what I mean? Okay, so we have that, and I think I might want a little bit of shimmer. Ellen said, what the? Yeah, he has this. It's special for like doing a splatter technique. Yeah, not into fancy tools. Some people are, some people aren't. If you miss a class, can you rewatch it? Yes. I leave them up for, because I had 10 members. Now I think I have 7. And only, I think 4. Yeah, it was Jesse, Annette, Mary, and Shelby. Only 4 ever really came. I think once my friend Bree came. So that's why I was talking to them saying, you know, I might switch it to a Saturday night because Friday, you know, people might still be driving home from work and stuff. So it seems like the other people watch it after the fact. And then so I only ever get the 4 live viewers. It's always been like that since like the very first episode. And you can go back and watch. And sometimes they tell me if they're maybe they felt like they wanted to try and recreate what we were doing. that they'll go back and watch it so that they can see whatever step they were forgetting. So I just put some shimmer down. This is Tim Holtz Distress Mica Sprays. And they only come out like during the holiday. And once it's like gone, it's gone. He does that a lot. So you'd have to buy it secondhand, like eBay or something like that. So like once Joanne sells out of it, they don't for that season, they don't bring it back. Okay. So that's all I wanted to do is I just wanted to create some kind of, even though my card's a little warped from being wet and heated up. Okay, so if that was cardstock, this would be torn to shreds because cardstock can't take this amount of water or any kind of liquid. You could get away with putting this stuff called gesso down to prime your surface, but even still, it can't really hold it and it'll tear like holes in it. So watercolor paper is best for wet mediums. I have his Distress Oxide ink pads. I want to get the sprays. Yeah, I have his oxide inks too. Okay, so there's that. Now, where's this, guys? They know me. I can't have this mess on my desk. I always have to put it back where I got it from. Okay, so I was gonna kind of stagger these, like, I don't know, maybe like this, sort of, like a little layer. And then I'm gonna cut the excess off. Hi, Nettie. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this on, and then our card base will be pretty much ready, and then we'll just work on the little dinosaur. I was getting another card ready. This one's gonna be beautiful. I was gonna watercolor this one in, but I don't want to take too long. But that's gonna be great. Let's see, put this on there. Let's see. Do you do junk journals? Not really like you see them do. I don't really. I'll do something similar, like sort of like a vintagey style, but I turn it into more of a scrapbook because in my mind, I need to have a purpose. Like some people call them like glue books and stuff, and that's fine. That's their art, that's their therapy. But in my mind, it needs to be something. I need it to have a purpose. So my junk journals usually have lots of like pretty vintage decoration, but I have a photo. So it's like I'm memory keeping at the same time. Do you ever notice there are people who will sell an item on eBay and shipping is clearly higher than what the item will weigh / cost to ship? Well, yeah, there are people that do that. But it also depends on where you live compared to where that person lives, because where you live, it's going to be, the farther away you live, the higher the dollar amount's going to be, the quote that it gives you. You make journal. Oh yeah, I have had people make me some junk journals too. Yep, mine just tend to be like just albums. So I feel like they need to like be something other than me sticking like stickers and gluing stuff down. So I guess it's not really a junk journal, but okay, so now since I colored on here, I'm going to take a piece of scrap watercolor paper and I'm going to stamp my dinosaur and I'm just going to color him in really quickly. I told you guys before, I'm using a Ranger, who is also who makes like the Tim Holtz inks. I'm using one of their archival inks. so that my watercolor doesn't run. I can't use this like his distress inks or oxide inks because water activates them. So it would just be a blobby mess if I tried to do that. Let me cut this off. Okay, now that's cut off. Go in there, little sucker. Okay. So let me get a green. So that color was leaf green. This is mowed lawn. So we can do some mowed lawn and maybe a little forest moss for some shading. Yes, she has. She shared with me some of her junk journals that she's done. She's really good at them. I'm just going to take, a lot of times I show them that I use these watercolor pens, brush pens, but I'm just going to use a regular, this is Artist Loft, which is a Michaels brand, little pencil. Oh, look at that. I still had ink on it. Not a pencil. Paintbrush. Yeah, that's what it's called. He has some good names for his stuff. And it's pretty darn accurate too. Like he has one called Worn Lipstick, and it looks just like that, as if your pink lipstick was a little worn off. So I'm just gonna. And watercolor I love because, in my opinion, I love how kind of fluid and loose it can be. It doesn't have to be like super perfect. That's just what I think. Some people don't like it because they can't control it. Have you heard of Simon Hurley on YouTube? Yes, I remember when he was just a little guy making cards, and then all of a sudden he was found. That was my dream, but my dreams were crushed. Let's see what else. Great names. Yes, he does. Like he has one that's cracked pistachio, and you know how the pistachio shells were like stain your fingers? It's exactly what it looks like. So his creative team is awesome. See, I like these water brush pens because to me, it's just as long, right? But it's stiffer. So these bristles aren't just kind of getting all over the place. So I really do like the brush pens better. Hi, Jean. Hi, Sandy. You don't have the patience. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have the patience for, paper crafts and stamps and coloring and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I find it like relaxing, and I love what I can turn stamps into. But I've had a lot of people say that, like, Alex, I don't know how you sit there and do that, but I just like to. So I'm just gonna color his little doohickeys in. And then I'm gonna dry him a little bit because when I try and cut him out with the paper being wet, I could tear them. Crafting is my therapy. Me too. Oh my goodness, I have a troll already. Let's see. Didn't even see that. Thanks for getting that. Yep. Yes, I do. embossing. I was showing them how to do that. I have all kinds of embossing stuff. Okay, so he's dry enough. These are like my favorite fussy cutting scissors. This is what this is called when you cut out a tiny little image, or any image for that matter. It's called fussy cutting because really you're fussing with it. You know what I mean? It's like fussy work. And sorry, I don't have the luxury of speeding this up, but that's why, part of why I chose a smaller image to do. It doesn't take as long. I don't have the die for him to cut him out, so this is what you do. I do have the Brother Scan cut, but I ain't gonna bust that out for this guy. Paper crafting makes you have a great day. Oh, I love that. I tried all kinds of different crafts, but I always, always, always went back to stamping. I just love making cards. I don't really give out too many of them. I kind of just keep them in a box. But what is Aaron doing? I hear him banging. He was working on the floor in the kitchen, so maybe that's it. We were painting our kitchen and he was doing the floor. Oh, I know what he's doing. He's trying to get the tile up with he's doing his little hammer and his, whatever that's called. Okay. So there's my little dinosaur guy. I probably should have stamped him in black. He would have shown up better. But I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I have a green marker. Okay, so when you you need to get some scissors. Of those scissors, yeah. Are those cutter bees? Yes. When you fussy cut an image and it doesn't, you're like, oh, it doesn't look right or whatever, or if it's in a black ink and you can see the white paper, I just take, well, if it's black ink, I take a black marker and I just go along the edge. And then it like tricks the eye into thinking that it was just cut ever so perfectly, when really you're only human and you can only do it so finely, you know what I mean? But we'll just go and do that. I think I might use, I need to get more of my dang, these are the jelly rolls, but I need to get more of my glaze pens. I keep telling myself, just buy them, Alex, just buy them. Because the glaze pens, they sit on top of your paper. They have like a glazed, like raised effect. Gosh, you could do the coolest things. So like this is a regular gel pen. So when this dries, it kind of like, you know, sinks into the paper. The glaze sits on top. That's a good trick. It is a good trick. Okay, so I'm going to take him and I'm going to put him probably right here. Let me wipe up my ink. Oh my goodness, it's almost time to... It's got that cleaned off, right? Okay. So I'll leave this here in case you guys like that. You can, oh wait, you can't see that. What am I talking about? There you go. Now you can see it. So, I'm probably, okay. So I have to use, well, I'm not going to leave that right there right now. I'm going to use these stamps, but I'm going to use probably all of them. Okay. Where's my little guy? I think it's in here. I think it's in here. This little one. Look at this little tiny acrylic block. It's always good to fit your stamps accordingly. You know, if you have like this teeny tiny little stamp and you're using this giant acrylic block, it could mess you up. So sometimes you think, oh, you know, I suck, I can't do this. and it's really the tools that you were using. So, okay, so now the question is, do I want to use black ink? Because I don't have black on here. What do you want to use, Alex? Maybe I'll just use black. I'll just go with what I know. This is my VersaFine. This picks up, it's a fine detail ink. It does so well. Oops, you need the glazed pens too? They're not that much online now, but boy, they used to be expensive. And Michael's used to sell them. You never heard of glazed pens? Yeah, they're by Jelly Roll. So I'm going to kind of position my guide to see where I want them. I'm going to put them off over to the side a little bit because I'm going to have all of the sentiment like right over here. So I'm going to stamp, please do good, please do good, please do good, because I'm not using my stamp tool to fix you. Ooh, okay, that's pretty okay. So he's going to say RAR, and you know what? That was too brave of me. I'm going to get out my stamping tool to assist. Okay. Where'd you go, dinosaur? I flicked you over there. Okay, so you're going to be there. Okay, my magnet. That's going to be there. Okay, so then we're going to put, I love these little clear ones because you can line them up where you think they'll look good. We were having dinner. I'm back. How's everyone's project going? I think I'm the only one doing a project. I'm just kind of showing them what I'm making, and then they can make their own. Now this is an older stamp set of lawn fawns. It's not the latest and greatest. I don't think I have anything that's really the latest and greatest. Other than I think I have a couple of Tim Holtz Halloween and maybe a couple Christmas ones I got for Christmas. But other than that, they still make them. You can still buy them like lawnfawn.com or Simon Says Stamp or scrapbook.com. So they still make them. You don't have to try and like buy them on eBay or anything like that. So the cool thing with this tool is I stamp it down and it doesn't pick up all the way, or I'm like, oh, it could be a little darker. I can go back in with some more ink because it's in the same exact spot, put it back down, and there it is. Look how light that one is and how that one is, because I did that one by hand. I mean, I could be brave and restamp it, but we're just going to leave that alone. Oops. Look at that. Okay, I got to get that off of there. Leave this over here so I don't forget it. Okay, we're going to put our little dinosaur over here. And ooh, let me close this. We just watch and ask a bunch of questions. Yeah, well, sometimes you guys do. Sometimes you're quiet and I'm like, are you still there? Okay, sorry, I was getting Butters. You know what? You're taking up my whole dang spot, man. I was getting a little bit of this. Oh, it's fuzzy. Dimensional adhesive, you know, the foam. Can you explain your craft subscription? And I love my stamp press. I have the one from your Memory Keepers. I have that one too. And I think that it was the cat. He jumped up on, it was sitting on my desk or on my shelf or something like that. And he jumped up and it slid right down with him. Like he pulled it right off and he cracked the hinge that keeps it closed. So I had that one too, but they broke it. I would feel better. There's a few tools, Mary. There's that one's the Tim Holtz one. Then there's one by me, We Are Memory Keepers. There's one that's called a Misty. I have the mini Misty. That was the first one that came out. Well, that was a bunch of drama because the creator of that tool, other companies started to copy it and they were like suing. I remember that. So the craft club or subscription or whatever you want to call it, it's $24.99 a month. You get a monthly kit with things that we either like use in the class or you can like use on your own and make different projects. I think I'm gonna and then every week, like this week, I usually I would go live with them on Fridays. Um, but this week I was scheduled to go actually to one of our friends' house for dinner, and I had to reschedule it to Saturday. Well, then we got this idea up our butt that we were gonna repaint our kitchen. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys, I had to message them last night." And it was I warned him that this is going to be way longer than he thinks that it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but he was gung ho. And I was like, I can't just leave him and to clean up everything so that I can come in here and craft. I kind of felt bad. So, I'm just adding a little bit of texture to him. I put some little spots on his back. So I had to tell them like, "Hey, can we reschedule it to Sunday?" Because I couldn't just do that to him. So anyways, so here is the little card. You can add all kinds of other texture if you wanted. You can draw like little lines and stuff like that. But that's the finished card. Really, it wasn't too bad. It didn't take too long. So I go live once a week with you guys, and like we just make stuff and we talk, and then you guys get a monthly kit. So that's what that really is. So I spend an hour of my time with you sharing like tips and tricks and things that I know. Sometimes they request to know something, to learn how to do something, and we'll do that if I know what they're talking about, if I know what to do. And then oh, hi rooftop. Your dog ate your homework. This is the first time you've been able to view a crafty crew. Yes, because I have it going live to everyone so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So, I have about 10 minutes left of the hour or so. Is it always designing cards? Well, it's usually paper crafting, some kind of paper craft, because that's what I do. So if you wanted to, like, for example, last week we worked with stencils. And when I was working with the stencil, I told Jessie that she could take the stencil. Jessie likes to like alter her jean jackets, her pants, her things like that. She'll do paint, she'll sew things on. I was showing her how she could take my paper crafting stencil and apply it to a craft that she likes. So you can always alter it somehow and maybe find something like if you like to make jewelry, maybe you can take this like watercolor technique, make your own kind of paper and like your own background paper, and you can sort of like Mod Podge it down to your pieces. Like there's little wooden heart pieces. You can make your own earrings. I mean, there's some way you can apply it to the crafts that you like. But for me in particular, paper crafting and stamping is my thing. That's what I know to show. Like that's what I know. So that's what I do. Hey everyone, I've been a member for several months but could never find it. I don't know why you couldn't find it. I mean, it goes it tells you guys as long as you have like the little bell and stuff on, it'll tell you. And I have it go for the crafty crew and it like notifies them. So Oh, thank you so much. But anyways, what I was gonna say with my last 10 minutes, maybe you guys can spend it with me and I can work on this a little bit. So I already stamped this out. This is stamped on watercolored paper or watercolor paper. I stamped it in this Ranger. This is the color coffee. I was looking for like more of a sepia, but this is as close as I can get. I didn't want to stamp it in a harsh black. Um, So I'm going to do a little bit. I already had pulled my colors earlier. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to get to it. So let's move these over there. And let's see what we can do in the little bit of time we have left. So this color, this one's called Pine Needles. I love this color. I'm going to use this one for a lot of the leaves. This stamp set is by Simon Says Stamp. It's called like Vintage Floral, I believe. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Yes, Angela and I, dear Angela's Vintage, we have a little live sale tomorrow. Oops, tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon. See if I can get that up at all. Whoopsie, my card flipped up and touched my brush. Well, you guys saw. Anyways. Oh, is that 7? Was it at 7? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Angela. I can't get that stuff right. Don't hate me. I'm kind of glad to know it's at 7. Oh my gosh. Like the week that I got mine and Rachel's and Pam's all mixed up. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad. So I'm just going in with this color and I'm just going to do towards the the inner part of the leaf, you know, towards the stem. And I'm just going to leave it kind of like right there. Oh, what a difference between the ink and the wax. I've seen them at Joann's. What do you mean wax? There's like candle wax, there's wax seal wax. Here, yeah, y'all are right. I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm especially like thrown off because the kids have school off of school tomorrow. That always gets me. I'm so sorry. It is at 7 p.m., y'all. Sorry. The squares of ink you have. Huh. As wax? That's interesting. Mm-hmm. See, and this is part of I think this is why I don't give a lot of my cards out because it takes me so long to do them. And yeah, I'm like, I'll keep that. That took me forever. You know, it'll like end up in a drawer or something like that. Or in a case that's happened to me before on the floor of someone I gave it to. I was like, wow. All right, so we'll just do, I think I got all of the little leaves. I think. Yep, okay. What you are using, they have a distress wax also. Huh. I know he has like embossing powders. Okay, I'm gonna use this tea dye, and I'm gonna use this frayed burlap color. I'm gonna use this for these larger flowers. Actually, let me I'm going to kind of do some blue centers real quick, or green, whatever color this is. Just real quick. Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. You've never heard of distress? Well, he's got embossing powders and stuff. And Mary, remember last week when I did the embossing and I showed you guys the distress glaze, the embossing glaze? Okay, so this color I'm using right now is tea dye. So I'm just going to stay around the center of the flower. And look how, like, I'm not really trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are intimidated by coloring, by watercoloring, and I personally think watercolor is so, like, forgiving, and it's so whimsical when it's done, and it's like, "Oh, you think that it's gonna be so horrible." It's like, "No, wait till it dries, and it's gonna be fantastic." Okay, so then I'm gonna take, let's hold on. Let me bring this out a smidge more. A smidge more. How much time we got? Ooh, ooh, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to speed paint. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with the little darker color. I just looked up the Distress Wax. It says it can act as a highlight on surfaces when heated up. I don't know. I have to see. Y'all might be absolutely positively correct. He probably does have something like that. Like I said, I don't have like the latest, greatest things. Now, if I was some famous card maker and these companies sponsored me or something, then they would send me their stuff to use. But I'm not, so they don't. I told Aaron the other day, I said, as much as I get asked about my makeup when I'm doing videos and stuff, you'd think that I'd be sponsored by them already. But I am not. I'm going to use fossilized amber. And I'm going to use it on like this sunflower looking one. And again, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because leaving a little bit of the white acts like a highlight. So I got another one. Inu. Okay. Are you dipping the brush in water? Yes, I have a little cup of water right here just to clean it off between colors. Can you ask companies to sponsor you? I'm sure you could. Oh, distress glaze and texture paint. Yes, I have the distress glaze. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so let's see. How much time do I have? Ooh, a few minutes. What do I want to do? Okay, I might do the frayed burlap again. But I'm gonna mix it a little bit with this and go in the center of here. And then, I had already chose those colors. We'll use dried marigold. Does Bianca like to do this with you? She used to. Gabriel likes it more. They particularly like it if they're grounded from their electronics. Then they want to do what I'm doing. But she used to, but she's got her own thing. She was drawing earlier. Okay, now I guess the last thing would be the butterfly, but I have kind of a muted palette, so maybe milled lavender and shaded lilac. Is the part where we're using the inks made for that, and what is it called? This thing? This is a glass mat, a Tim Holtz glass. We just call it a glass craft mat, I guess, if that's what you're talking about. 1 minute. So if you guys want to stay just a couple minutes past to see the completed project. I did pretty good getting 2 things done, trying to explain to a bunch of people, if I do say so myself. I'm just kind of blending the 2 colors together. Now, you know what? That center is not dark enough for me. So I think we'll go in. Woohoo! No, you touched the inside of my card. Oh, you. Let's wipe this off. Okay. Dusty Concord will be in the center here. Or, you know, like in the middle. Like a shadow. And then as it gets lighter at the edge, it works like a highlight. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so I think that's going to be it. Then you can stamp the inside of your card if you want to. I already have a sentiment on the outside, but you can very well put one on the inside. Ugh, and I just made it green. I should have used it. You could still go in after that and reactivate that, but my cloth is dirty, so that's kind of what I get. But anyways, you can go in with like splatter. You can use his stickles. Well, if it'll focus, you can see a close up, but it likes to play games with me. But you can put like his little glitter stickles like in the center. Well, I know a Joann's run is going to happen. Oh, yeah, you can find actually Joann's has, if you like the Tim Holtz stuff, if that's what you're after, I would say Joann's and Hobby Lobby has the best selection. Michael's, forget about it. So here you go with some sparkles. Oh yeah, I can post it in the community tab for sure. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. And I had more people come than I thought, actually. So I appreciate it. And thank you to the members for letting me kind of go live, because essentially this is what they pay for, is for like a like a one-on-one type of thing. So it went really well. Everyone's very gracious and I appreciate it. So anyways, I'm gonna clean up my mess because they know this is gonna drive me up the wall if I don't put everything like back how it goes. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Angela and I will be on at 7, not 1. That's my other sale, 7 o'clock on my channel. So anyways, does he make like a starter set? Hell no. You gotta no, he has little small cubes like this size. Like you can buy in like sets, but so you can get the little samples of his colors. You can get a few of them at once, but other than that, that is it. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm glad you had a good time. Leave a comment on this video and let me know whatever your favorite or most interesting thing was. But there's that one. course, the camera, and then there's that one. So anyways, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.